Hi, I'm Robyn Maynard, and I am Emmy's sidekick in the Choose Joy ministry. I came to the first Choose Joy as an attendee. I live here locally, and I'd seen on social media about the event, and I've had a very strong desire to adopt for years. So I came to Choose Joy to learn more about adoption, and I loved the event. It was a beautiful day. Every detail had been thought out. I learned a lot, and I went home so excited to share this with my husband. Unfortunately, he didn't have the same desire on his heart to adopt. And I know that I could have kicked and screamed and thrown a little temper tantrum. My husband is so kind and generous, and he would have loved to make me happy and just say yes. But I knew that that wasn't what I was meant to do. I know that if you adopt, we needed to be a unified front. It was going to be complicated, the wait was going to be long and hard and challenging and stressful in our marriage, and I wanted him to feel as strongly about it as I did. So I just prayed. I prayed for the Lord to change his heart, and the second year of Choose Joy rolls around and Scott is out of town again. So I knew that I didn't need to attend, but I still had such a strong love for Choose Joy that I offered to help. And I got more and more involved, the more and more I helped, and I just fell in love with this ministry. So year 3 comes, and my husband is out of town again. And I started to realize that maybe the Lord was asking me to walk alongside people that were adopting, not to actually adopt myself. He had closed that door over and over again between my husband and I. And through this process too, I also learned that that the Lord uses my husband to speak to me. And if I just listen, I hear such powerful things from him. So the Lord speaks to Scott as the head of our house, and I know that if I just am still and listen, he has great plans for us. He has great plans for our family. So the 4th Choose Joy, my husband actually had the opportunity to attend, and just as I knew he would, he was blown away by the whole event. He was so touched by the stories that he heard and the people that were speaking, but yet he still didn't have that desire in his heart. I was finally able to completely surrender that part of our story to the Lord, and I just figured, here I am. I meant to serve, and I meant to love, and I meant to walk alongside. And it was when I finally surrendered that the Lord did change my husband's heart, and we were presented with an opportunity, and he said yes. Now, that opportunity didn't end up working out, and we were again called to walk alongside and support the family that is going to adopt this little girl. But the best part of the story is that we are still walking in God's will. We are now doing it as a team, and I know that my story isn't done, and I know that this really is about the Lord's timing and not ours. I want you guys to be vulnerable and to invite people into this story, because you're going to find support in the most unlikely of places. Choosing joy is choosing to surrender to God's will, and choosing to surrender with a grateful heart, with thankfulness, because I know that God's will is the best plan. He writes the best stories. I've seen it over and over again with all of you guys sharing your stories with us. I see how amazing his works are, and I get to be a part of it when I walk alongside of you guys. I also want to encourage you to share your story with people. As Emmy always says, if you don't share your story, how will God get the glory? And I want you to share your stories with everyone in your community. I want you to share your pain and your walk with the members of your church and your friends. If you don't let people in and let them be a part of your story, even just as simple as praying for you, then they won't get to be a part of that joy with you. When you don't let people in, you rob them of the joy of blessing you. You may find a support system in the most unlikely of places. I'm not infertile, I haven't adopted, but I have such a strong heart for this. I'm the least likely person you would turn to for support, and here I am, your biggest encourager. When you let people in from the very beginning, you let people in part of that joy. They get to see God's blessing, and they get to see how it multiplies and grows, and God gets all the glory. Happy 5th Choose Joy!